then become slaves of the past. We become tragic. We become victims, basically, of the past and of fate.
The idea that it was possible to free human beings from the ghosts of the past was a noble dream. It was part of an age that believed it could control history by manipulating human memory. That age is now over, and we are caught up by the irrational forces of the past once again. Except for a few individuals who live in a different world, a world free of memory.
What had been done to me was wrong and horrible, but I was freed up because I didn't have any memory. I didn't have to worry about a memory. I was exactly who I had shaped myself into being, and people kept wanting to feel sorry for me and that I was a victim. I understand that because they were horrible experiments, but on a personal, individual basis, I was not a victim, because I was freed up from any of the garbage that people who have memory carry around with them all the time. Memory is a dangerous thing.
The relationship between the inmate and his wife and family outside is a crucial one. Often his wife is his main encouragement to go straight. Yet paradoxically, the effect of Grendon may be such a radical one that the prisoner may emerge from Grendon a perfect stranger to his family, his personality having developed to the point where they no longer understand him. Grendon's social workers and many of the prison officers do as much as they can to help the family unit stay together. Yet paradoxically, the effect of Grendon may be such a radical one that the prisoner may emerge from Grendon a perfect stranger to his family. His personality having developed to the point where they no longer understand him. Grendon's social workers and many of the prison officers do as much as they can to help the family unit stay together.
Giving me diagnoses at the end of a session as I'm about to walk out and leave, when they knew full well that I was completely isolated. I don't have friends, I don't have family, I don't have anybody I can discuss anything with, and leaving me to ponder that diagnosis and find out what it means for over a month. I did a lot of art stuff. I couldn't quite work it out. I did a lot of self-portraits. I went to I don't know, some mental health art place.
In Hackney, the core art.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, didn't like it there. Didn't get on there. And I didn't know what to do. And I thought, well, I better do something. I'll just see what comes out. And I did a self-portrait, and it just looked like an alien. Like people would imagine an alien would look like. Or if you showed that to somebody and said, what is that? They'd say, it looks like an alien. And it was me.
Did you recognise it as yourself?
I did it, I was trying to paint what I felt.
Uh-huh.
I was trying to paint what I felt inside.
Uh-huh. What was it like to when you'd done it, to look at it?
Weird. I was a bit surprised.
Ah.
I didn't have any preconceived idea of how it was going to come out.
Ah.
but it feels right, to be quite honest. That's exactly what I feel like.
That is what you feel like inside.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, that's what we all are. We're born into this world and come from where? We're born onto this planet. When we're born, this is all alien to us, isn't it?
When I was discharged from the Allen Memorial, I felt like an alien from another world visiting this world. I didn't fit. I was watching myself cooking, taking care of the children, doing the washing, but I knew I was different, and I didn't know how to become like everybody else. And it was a very lonely, scary place to be. I don't remember what happened to me. I was introduced to Dr. Cameron, and I don't remember Dr. Cameron at all. I was diagnosed schizophrenic. I found that out by reading my file 20 years later. I don't remember any of that. They shipped me up to what they called the sleep room, and they gave me all of these electroconvulsive shock treatments and megadoses of drugs and LSD and all of that, and I have no memory of any of that. Nothing of that time in the Allen Memorial or any of my life previous to that. All gone. Wiped.
Linda MacDonald was brought to the Allen Institute by her family. She was 26 and suffered severe depression. Cameron began treating her with what he called depatterning. She was kept asleep for 20 out of 24 hours.
With the depatterning process, the person would descend in their memory further and further back. So they'd go back in time to before they got sick. That was the important thing, it seemed to be, before they got sick.
And then having depatterned somebody or brought them down to where basically nothing but the essential functions of the body were going on in terms of breathing and things of this nature, that then he would begin to feed material into these individuals, positive material, such that the brain would be programmed in a positive way, and, so that the individual would be completely altered.
Then he put these tapes under our pillows called psychic driving. He would then put back into this empty brain a program of whatever sort he decided upon, and the people like myself would wake up another person, I guess.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't have any thoughts like a human being. I'm just an animal walking around on the earth.
In some experiments, the behavior of mentally ill patients was directly altered by wires planted inside the brain.
Thing would go off somewhere and not never see nobody.
Now the treatment is started. She's receiving a very minute amount of current. Actually, it amounts to only 5,000ths of an ampere delivered to a very specific region in the brain. And, of course, it's changing in behavior.
Now look at that smile you got now.
Why does that make me do that? I don't like to do that.
You really told me off, remember? Hmm?
I know I did, but I couldn't help it.
And then I got drip-fed a diagnosis of what I think you view as psychopathy, which, without trying to be over-dramatic, completely and utterly destroyed any sense of self that I had, in the fact that psychopaths, the way psychopaths are viewed, which has left me not knowing what's real and what is real, and what's real and what's not real about me. And personally, I think that was foreseeable, the way they diagnosed me. And I don't know whether it's incompetence or whether it's some form of therapy where you want to try and break somebody.
Not having a memory is not knowing who you are, and not having any sense of how to fit into the world. I didn't know it was not right to flirt at parties if you're a married person. I carried a dictionary with me for 5 years and would run into strangers' kitchens at parties trying to look up the words and trying to figure out what it was that was going on in the living room so that I could take part in it, because I wanted to. I wanted to be just like everybody else. And I knew I wasn't. I didn't know what the script was. I didn't know what the next cue was going to be. I didn't know who the actors were. I didn't know what the plot was. I didn't know what the end of the play was going to be. And it was very, very scary.
Have severely worsened my mental health in ways that should have been foreseeable. And not just once or twice, but over a period of time, and despite the fact that I was making complaints and protesting about the way I was being treated at the time.
I mean, I'm hearing very carefully what you're saying, but I would say that sounds very much like being very badly let down.
Oh, you think that's it? You think my suffering for the last 2 years is a sense of me being let down? Listen, if you tell somebody that their sense of themselves is completely and utterly fake and false, and everything that they do is for some selfish motivation, no, please let me finish. When you've already given that person a diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, which is an unstable sense of self, a poor sense of self, and then you give them a sense of self where you're saying, perhaps you're not aware, but you're a psychopath and everything you do is with bad intention, and you don't give a damn about anybody else, okay? That is completely destroying somebody's sense of their self.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't have any thoughts like a human being. I'm just an animal walking around on the earth.